Would like to welcome back to the program. We've had this lovely lady on beforehand, Jackie Collins. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be back.
Yeah, it's always wonderful. You know, you probably work harder than any other novelist, I would think, out there right now. You just seems like you're constantly cranking out great book after great book, and you've got another one out here for us to talk about.
Poor Little Bitch Girl.
Poor Little Bitch Girl.
Number 4 on the New York Times best-selling list.
Wow, that high already, huh?
Yeah, that's so great.
You started writing at a very early age, is that correct?
I did. I started writing when I was about 8. I would make up these disgusting limericks that my school friends would pay to listen to. So I'd read them out.
Let me ask you, how well did you ever do in your English class?
I was top in my English class and bottom in everything else.
Well,
The only one I was interested in. I was great at composition, but, I wasn't interested in science and geography and all of those things that I guess you should be interested in, and I think today they would be a lot more interesting because you can learn things from movies and the Internet.
have you ever done anything other than, fiction?
I haven't. I have written some pieces for magazines about, what goes on in Hollywood kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I've never written a non-fiction book, but I am thinking of writing an autobiography. It would be called Reform School or Hollywood.
But I've got to bet a lot of your books parallel a lot of lives in Hollywood and such that you rub elbows with. Is that right?
Well, yeah, in Poor Little Bitch Girl, there's a cheating politician, which, of course, is very timely.
What?
Gregory Stoneman. Yeah, I know. It's such a surprise, isn't it? A cheating politician. And one of my characters goes to work for him in Washington, ends up getting pregnant, and then mysteriously vanishes because he won't meet his wife.
Anybody get nervous when you, say you got these books coming out? You start, getting,
Well, I've had women come up to me and say, "Oh, you wrote about my husband in Hollywood Wives. How dare you?" And I go, "Well, there's a lot of faded superstars in Hollywood." And she goes, "Oh, that's even worse." And, but my readers, they come to me in my website, JackieCollins.com, and they like to play the guessing game.
Do you ever find that people try to spill a few personal stories to you to create maybe ideas for the next novel?
They do. I get a lot of emails on my website from people who go, "Oh, I have a story to tell, and would you like to write it for me?" And I have to reply and say, sorry, I have so many stories to tell myself that I don't need your story, too. Yeah, people are always anxious to tell me things, and I'll have a famous person say to me, "Oh, I want to write my biography, so maybe you'd like to write it for me." And I go, "I'd love to, but, I'm a little busy."
How quick or how fast can you write a book like this new one, The Poor Little Bitch Girl? How quick do you crank one of those out?
To write. I write in longhand. I've told you that before. And it's a long process because longhand takes much longer. And I don't type. My assistant puts it on the computer for me, and then I get my typewritten pages back, and I make my changes on that. And it goes back and forth between us several times. But it does take, at least 9 months.
Let me ask you about that. Have you saved all these different books that you've written out in longhand? Have you saved all that?
I certainly have. And one of these days, I think I'll give them to, a museum or something like that because they're very interesting. What you see is what you get. And I have them leather bound after a book is finished. And so it's really fun for me to do that.
I would think that would be just that would be something I would love to have. Possession of one of your books written out in longhand.
With all the crossed out things, and you can see when I'm in a hurry and when I'm writing neatly and when I'm not, and it's good fun for me to look back.
Well, the book is called Poor Little Bitch Girl. It is always great, interesting reading. Jackie Collins. And do you keep track what numbered book this would be in your career?
This is my 27th book.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
A lot of writing.
That's a lot of writing. And I'm sure it's going to get an A from the teacher as well.
Well, I hope so. It's about, 3 strong women again and a very handsome hero and a lot of things going on. So I think people will have fun with it.
All right. And we can find this, I would assume, at most bookstores and probably off your...
bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Borders, Amazon, wherever.
And your website again is?
JackieCollins.com.
Very simple. And Jackie, always a pleasure to have you on with us here. We look forward to reading through the book and then looking forward to what the next one will be.
Thank you so much, Rollin.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Bye-bye.
Bye.